Jack when it came to Angie. But not for long, he reminded himself. By tomorrow, Angie would be dead. Jack would be devastated and back in jail for violating the restraining order Patrick had against him. And Patrick would be rich and free. And there was nothing Jack could do to save Angie, not a damn thing. Once in the limo, Patrick poured the champagne and handed a glass to his pale and obviously shaken bride. Did she realize yet the mistake she'd made? Fortunately, he wouldn't have to keep up this pretense much longer. At his sweet insistence, she took a sip of the drug-laced champagne. Later, when she complained she didn't feel well, they would leave the reception early. She thought they were flying to Hawaii. Wouldn't she be surprised when she realized that wasn't the case? By then, though, she would be in no shape to protest. He glanced over at her, afraid he wouldn't be able to get her out of town quickly enough. Tendrils of her dark hair framed an unusually pale face. Her brown eyes shone with unshed tears, and her hand shook as she held the champagne glass to her lips. Damn Jack for showing up. A stab of anger pierced Patrick's practiced facade. He had bent over backward to try to make her happy, had spared no expense, but she still wanted Jack. He had to turn away, to look out the window. He couldn't blow it now. Just a few more hours of pretending, and Angie would be dead, and he would be a very rich widower. He did like the sound of that. He turned back to his bride and smiled sympathetically. I know how hard this is for you. We both love Jack. It's heartbreaking to see him mess up his life like this. Drink up, he said as the limo pulled up to the country club where the reception was being held. It's almost over. Chapter 1. Angie woke to the roar of the small jet touching down. She opened her eyes, instantly confused as to where she was. Worse, who she was with. She'd been dreaming about Jack and a wedding. She'd foolishly expected to see Jack in the seat beside her. But instead, it was Patrick. Just the sight of him brought it all back. Jack's lies, Jack's betrayal. She turned away, feeling sick. Out the small window, all she could see at first was darkness, then the inky black line of high mountains etched against the night sky. The tops of the mountains gleamed in the moonlight. Snow? Where are we? She sat up straighter, suddenly afraid. I thought we were flying to Hawaii. The confusion in her mind was scaring her. Don't you remember, sweetheart? Patrick asked, looking concerned. She'd been forgetting things the past few weeks. A lot of things, it seemed. She often felt as if she were walking around in a fog. That's what she got for falling in love with Jack Donovan. Hadn't her father always warned her not to mix business and pleasure? She'd broken all the rules she'd lived by for 28 years, and paid the price. Jack had lied, cheated, broken the law. If that wasn't enough, he'd betrayed her with another woman. That she could never forgive. We're in Montana, Patrick said patiently, as if speaking to a child. Montana? Remember? We decided a cabin in the mountains of Montana would be much more romantic than Hawaii, where everyone honeymoons. The plane slowed to a stop. She looked out the window and felt a chill run up her spine as she saw that they hadn't even landed at an airport. Instead, the small jet had put down on what appeared to be an old highway surrounded by pine-dark mountains. She could see weeds growing up through wide, dark cracks in the pavement, as if the highway hadn't been used in years, and shivered as she looked around and saw nothing but mountains and pine trees. She didn't remember Patrick saying anything about a change in their honeymoon plans, nor about flying to